Caitlin Clark has solidified herself as one of the most exciting players in the WNBA, and her latest performance against the Dallas Wings is a perfect example of why. In a game where she dropped a career-high 35 points, the intensity reached new heights after a physical encounter with Kalani Brown that had everyone talking. Clark not only showed her ability to take hits and fight through adversity, but also demonstrated her leadership and game-changing presence on the court. What happened next was nothing short of spectacular. Watching Clark go nuts and get what she wanted is one thing, but most importantly, it all happened in yet another WNBA record-breaking night. From the outset, Dallas made it clear that Caitlin Clark wasn't going to have an easy night. The Wings employed a tough physical defense, constantly pressuring Clark and making every drive to the basket a battle. But Clark didn't back down. Her confidence was unshaken, and she wasted no time asserting herself as the leader on the floor. Throughout the first quarter, she worked her way through defenders, hitting deep threes, and driving into the paint to keep the Fever in control. By the end of the first, Clark had already given the Fever a much-needed offensive spark, but it was her teamwork with Kelsey Mitchell that started to shine through in the second quarter. The duo's on-court chemistry became the backbone of Indiana's attack, with both players creating opportunities for each other and keeping the pressure on Dallas's defense. As the game moved into the second quarter, Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell began to feed off each other's energy. Every time Dallas tried to adjust their defense to stop Clark, Mitchell would step up and punish them from the perimeter. Mitchell's shooting and quick drives were the perfect complement to Clark's aggressive style, and together, they kept the Wings scrambling. Mitchell finished the game with an impressive 30 points, making her a crucial part of Indiana's success. Reflecting on their chemistry after the game, Clark said,
"Yeah, it's fun. Kelsey's obviously, she makes my life easier out there, and it's hard to pick and choose when, both of us are on, like, at the 1 and 2 position. That just, like, puts the defense in a really tough spot, and I thought that 3 she made there in the fourth quarter was huge for us, and we could have executed a little bit better down the stretch, but I think we just really read and understand each other a lot better from where we were at the beginning of the season. Like, the amount of backdoor cuts that girl has got just because we make eye contact and she knows to go backdoor it's incredible. Like, that play we ran to start the third quarter, like, I wasn't involved in it. I wasn't at the beginning, but, like, we ran that play a million times, and it just made me laugh because, like, she's so fast that she gets open every single time. So I'm really happy for her and proud of her. She definitely deserves this moment.
But beyond the stats, her partnership with Clark was what made the difference. Time and time again, Clark would penetrate the defense, drawing double teams, only to dish the ball out to Mitchell for a wide-open shot. Mitchell's ability to score efficiently allowed Clark to stay aggressive, knowing she had a reliable teammate backing her up. This teamwork wasn't just important for the game at hand, it was pivotal in securing Indiana's place in the WNBA playoffs. The Fever's success hinged on the combined efforts of their 2 stars, and their ability to work together gave them the edge they needed to overcome the Wings' physical defense. The third quarter saw the game's intensity reach new levels as Caitlin Clark continued to dominate, scoring in transition and driving relentlessly to the basket. Dallas became more physical in their attempts to slow her down. The Wings' defense was increasingly aggressive, and that physicality came when Kalani Brown delivered a hard elbow to Clark during a contested play. Clark was visibly shaken by the hit and stayed on the ground for a moment as the crowd held its breath. Initially, the referees called it a regular foul, but Caitlin wasn't having it. She immediately made it known, voicing her frustration to the officials, yelling, screaming, and demanding a review of the play. Clark's leadership in that moment was crucial. She wasn't just playing for herself, she was standing up for her team, ensuring that the game was called fairly. Clark had to be careful not to get too carried away though. As we all know, she can be a hothead, and one more technical foul would get her a 1-game suspension. Clark said this in the post-game interview about it.
You get the rookie record, you get a career high. It's a tense game from start to finish. Friday, you acknowledged keeping your emotions in check. So I guess in a tense game like this, tense environment, I guess where does your mind, your competitiveness go when, occasionally teammates, kind of have to come in and redirect you away from the refs?
Well, I didn't think they were going to give me a technical at any point tonight. I would have been really sad for people in Washington, D.C. I didn't want to do that. I tried my best. But my teammates do a really good job of that. They think I'm funny. They think it's funny. So, and then Aaliyah is the one that ends up with a technical. That's the best part about it all. Like, she's the one babysitting me, and then somehow she ends up with a technical, and she didn't really do anything. She was just standing there, so that's what was funny to me. But I think I did a better job. I still thought there was like a couple moments there where I could have been a little bit better. But now it's it's basically over. I don't have to worry about that anymore, but I don't want to be getting technicals at all. So, and my mom doesn't want that for me either. And I don't want to pay any more fines. So I'm done with that.
After reviewing the play, the referees upgraded the foul to a flagrant, acknowledging the excessive nature of Brown's hit. It was a massive moment in the game, both symbolically and strategically. Clark's determination to get the call right shifted the momentum back in Indiana's favor, and the Fever capitalized on it. Clark's response to the hit was nothing short of spectacular. Rather than letting the physicality derail her, she used it as fuel. She went on to score several key baskets, including a deep three-pointer that sent the crowd into a frenzy. It was clear that the hit from Brown had only made her more determined, and she played with an intensity that Dallas simply couldn't match. As the game progressed into the fourth quarter, Caitlin Clark was unstoppable. She continued to find ways to score, weaving through Dallas's defense and hitting clutch shots when her team needed them most. Her performance wasn't just about the numbers, it was about her ability to elevate her team in crucial moments. By the end of the game, Clark had shattered yet another WNBA record, becoming the highest-scoring rookie in league history. Her 35-point performance solidified her place as one of the most dangerous players in the league, and it came on the back of one of the most physically challenging games of her career. The record was a true test to her resilience, her leadership, and her refusal to back down, no matter how hard the defense tried to stop her. While Clark's record-breaking night grabbed the headlines, Kelsey Mitchell's role in the game cannot be overstated. Mitchell's 30 points were instrumental in keeping Indiana ahead, and her ability to stretch the floor allowed Clark the space she needed to operate. The two players fed off each other's energy throughout the game, creating one of the most dynamic backcourt performances the league has seen this season. Mitchell's leadership on the floor was equally important. As Dallas ramped up their physical defense, Mitchell provided a calming presence, helping the Fever maintain their composure and execute their game plan. Her scoring kept the pressure on Dallas, and her willingness to step up in key moments made her an invaluable asset to Indiana's success. As the game reached its end, the physical play from Dallas came back to bite them. Late in the fourth quarter, tensions boiled over and Tiara McCowan was ejected after receiving her second technical foul. The ejection was a combination of Dallas's frustration with Clark's dominance and their inability to slow down Indiana's offense. McCowan's loss was a huge blow to the Wings, and it ultimately sealed their fate. After the game, Caitlin Clark spoke about the game saying,
"Yeah, it was definitely fun, and obviously I've gone against JC for quite a while now in my career. Every year I was at Iowa, she was really good at Ohio State, so I'm pretty familiar with her game and what she's about, and I think she's had a really good year for the Wings, and, you know, she just, like, kind of takes what they give you. She's always consistent. She's always going to step up to the plate and guard whoever she needs to guard, and, you know, happy for her, but yeah, I thought the game was really fun. Obviously, once we got it to 8, I wish we could have kept that a little bit better. We didn't execute really in the half court as well, and when they started throwing some traps at us, we didn't respond to it great. So I think just executing that last minute and a half a little bit better, where we don't have to like just go to the free throw line and make a bunch of free throws. I thought we were great at that, but you want to get to the point where you don't have to rely on that too. So I definitely love this type of game. Very high scoring, but our defense can be a lot better too.
Clark also reflected on her partnership with Kelsey Mitchell.
Yeah, it's fun. Kelsey's obviously, she makes my life easier out there, and it's, you know, it's hard to pick and choose when, you know, both of us are on, like, at the 1 and 2 position. That just, like, puts the defense in a really tough spot, and I thought that 3 she made there in the fourth quarter was huge for us, and we could have executed a little bit better down the stretch, but I think we just really read and understand each other a lot better from where we were at the beginning of the season. Like, the amount of backdoor cuts that girl has got just because we make eye contact and she knows to go backdoor is, it's incredible. Like, that play we ran to start the third quarter, like, I wasn't involved in it. I was at the beginning, but, like, we ran that play a million times, and it just made me laugh because, like, she's so fast that she gets open every single time. So I'm really happy for her and proud of her. She definitely deserves this moment.
Caitlin Clark's performance against the Dallas Wings will be remembered not just for the record she broke, but for the way she stood up in the face of adversity. From taking a brutal hit to leading her team to victory, Clark showed why she is one of the brightest stars in the WNBA. Her teamwork with Kelsey Mitchell was crucial to the Fever's success, and together, they have made Indiana a serious playoff contender. Clark got what she wanted that night: justice, a victory, and yet another place in the WNBA record books.